Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we are in a 2018 Mini Countryman. This is the plug-in hybrid version. So this is new for this year. They've basically taken the standard Mini Countryman and thrown in BMW's plug-in hybrid system. I will say very, very honestly, this is the only Mini I've ever been in that I actually enjoyed. Most of the time, I'm not a big fan of Mini. There's a lot of reasons for it. I won't go into them. But this one is really good. And there are a few differences between the standard and the plug-in. I'll try to point those out as we go. The doors and windows and so forth is... these are all pretty much the way they are in the regular ones. So you have windows down there, mirrors up there. Here's the doors and door locks. Over here, the headlights, that's all pretty much standard as well. So if you have the packages that have fog lamps, they're up there and so forth. Then down here you have a third pedal right there, which one of the reasons I don't like Mini is because that's the non-functioning pedals, the place where your left foot normally is. In a Mini, it's too far forward for me. It's too far this way. So my knee tends to be a lot more bent than does my knee on the other side, which is running the pedals. The pedals are otherwise the normal Mini pedals. I do believe this is the S, but I do believe there is a package above this that has the sportier pedals. Over here you have the cruise control settings. This package does not have advanced cruise control or adaptive cruise control. Use whatever name you want. Over here is audio and infotainment controls, as well as your telematics. And this does not have the steering wheel is pretty normal Mini, and one of the things I do like, they have a good shaped steering wheel. It's just the right size for the car. It goes with the pinion, the rack really well. Over here is your lighting controls, the rest of them, blinkers and so forth. And over here are washer wipers, including the rear right here. And the usual Mini instrument cluster. So, except, I should say, that is not a tachometer. It is a power usage meter. So, the green line, that's my battery. Over here, this is the needle will show you how much power you're using or how much charge you're creating. When you're driving in EV mode only or operating like it is right now in off of the batteries only, that power band is shown. That shows you your charge state. When you plug the car in, there's another indicator too I'll show you in a minute. But when you do plug the car in, that will pop up for just a second to show you, assuming the car is not turned on, that will pop up for a second to show you. Also, there is a warning light. You can kind of see the warning light, so it's right there at the very top. That says that you're still plugged in, which is letting you know, don't back the car up. You're still kind of plugged in the wall. Over here is fuel gauge, so that's where your petrol, if you're British, that's where your gasoline is shown. So that's the level of gasoline left. You can see I'm down to the last 3 little hashes. That's about a third of a tank or so, I think. Over here is, of course, speedometer, and down here, driver information display. You can do a lot of stuff back and forth. This has a total of 131 miles left in gas plus charge. So that's what it's showing right now. There are a couple of other things you can show, but honestly, it's not terribly informative. Most of your information is going to be on the infotainment screen. This is also equipped with a heads-up display. You probably cannot see much on it. I think the 0 miles per hour showing up. I like the heads-up display in here, and it's nicely configurable. It can't show you a lot of information, but it shows you the stuff you need to know when you have a head-up. I kept saying heads-up, didn't I? Yeah, well, all right. Troll me. I don't care. So over here, we have the first of the vents and the first indications of aircraft, which is a Mini thing. So this bar right here, you see it just changed colors. It went from red to green. Green means you're driving eco. It also means that you have a lot of battery power, and it means that, you're being nice to the environment and hugging trees and all that other good stuff. Up here, there's your Duke's lights. Right here is the infotainment screen. This is the menu for the screen. Several things you can do from here. So if you want to see, like here's your phone notifications, phone itself, audio's over there. Here's your navigation. And this is your My Mini section. So here you can go through and you can change a lot of stuff. This is where you will change things like, you can see the submenu is shown, so you know what you're getting into when you try. So this is where you change things like, say, the heads-up display. So I select that, go down to displays. It's European, so everything turns backwards. Got to remember that. And there you go. I control the heads-up display, the control display, the instrument panel display, and the center of the instrument panel. So it's you'll get the idea after you've used it a little bit. These are actually really useful, and if you do have a Mini, I would highly recommend that you fiddle around with these, and get some use out of them, because you can customize a lot of stuff that you probably wouldn't think you could. Going over, there's a lot of other things you can play with. Vehicle status is something I've spent a lot of time on. So here you can see tire pressures. When the vehicle's running, there are other things that will show. So you see over here some of the items, some of the options. So you can, I'll show you how the control knob works. But you can see I can look at different things happening with the car. That's a useful screen. Also, this is a useful screen. This is the one I was thinking was that last one. Sorry. So I use this a lot. Both the sport displays, which show you some useful sport information if that's what you really want to do, and the eDrive. So this is showing you how great you're doing as far as your driving. So put it in reverse. Let's put it into drive. Let me see if I can change that. There we go. So, nope, I have to be moving. So I won't be able to show you some of the details of what's on here, but it does show you a lot of useful information, and insofar as how economical your driving habits are. And then when you're parked, you can go through that information if you have the connected app, and find out what you want to do with yourself. So, moving along, this is the audio controls. So you can see you have the band, which includes satellite radio on this one. Mode, skipping, volume, on and off, push it, and quick selects. This looks bigger on the screen than it really is. It's a tiny, tiny little hole. It's not really meant for anything. It's there for looks. Some people might get the idea that's where you shove your phone or something. So, right here's your climate controls. I have everything turned off so we're not blowing anything into the microphone. But you see you got bun warmers and all that other good stuff down there. And the aircraft switches I'll have to just go through them because, because they do different things in this car than they will in a standard Mini. Some of them do anyway. So here's your parking sensors. You can toggle them on and off right there. Here's your eDrive. So I'll just flip that switch and show you what happens. So maximum eDrive maximizes your electric driving. Going down, there's auto eDrive. This is normally where I leave it. So you can see that it will go back and forth depending on what the computer thinks is best at that moment. This is all-wheel drive because the plug-in hybrid defaults to that. The electrics run the rear axle and the engine runs the front. And here is your battery. So you can save the battery. This means that you'll drive on the engine until you get to very low speeds, or you toggle that off and go up to, if I can get it to do it, there we go, and go up to max eDrive. That saves battery, so when you're driving around or on the freeway or driving around town or something, you want to maximize your battery storage because maybe when you get to your gated community or you get to a parking garage or you get home, etc., you want to run on the quiet electric mode. There you go. So that's the eDrive button. This is the stop-start toggle. Same in pretty much every Mini I've ever been in. Over here is traction control, and this is the heads-up display. So I did it again. The head-up display. There you go. This basically opens and closes it. When you turn the car off, it closes on its own. When you turn the car back on, it opens on its own. This decides whether or not you want it to stay closed or you want to close it on the fly. So you just flick the switch, closes. Down here is your extra plug, so USB and 12 volt and auxiliary, so forth. Here are your drink holders suitable for any Starbucks beverage. I wouldn't try to get any bigger than that. I think a grande will fit in there probably because they are kind of narrow on the bottom. But these are very European cup holders, not suitable for gigantic half-gallon 7-Eleven sodas and such. Up here's a little storage cubby. This is normally where I've been tossing my phone. It's not rubber lined, so your phone will slide around in there, but, have an otter case or something like that. No big deal. No worries. Here, this is your shifter. Pretty standard mini shifter, nothing special about it. You pull the trigger, you move it around, blam, pull it over to the left to manually shift through gears. This is the controller for that. This is a touchpad on top because it's the upgraded system. So you can write numbers on for navigation and stuff to put in addresses. Really cool. BMW's been doing that for a couple of years, and it's one of their cooler options. This is a much easier system to use, but you do have to remember that everything is backwards because this was designed for somebody to be driving from that seat, not this one. Over here is your electronic parking brake. Here's your storage. Right down there, you can see there's some more plugs. And then in this handy little box, I guess, wireless charging. I think it's wireless. I'll have to look it up. It'll say down here whether or not it's wireless. Wireless or not. But nice padded little thing you can clip your phone in if you really, really want to. Yeah, that's about it. It's basically, this is spring-loaded and you just shove your phone in. Seating is good. As is usual, most Minis / BMWs, etc. have very good seats, adjustable thigh bolster and all that good stuff. Really like this. I like the ambient lighting. Mini's pretty good about that too. And I like the dual tones, so you have the lighter tones on top, darker going on down here. Not a big fan of this flat gray right here, but again, aircraft inspired, so they go with a lot of that kind of stuff. Back seats are a decent size. This is a Countryman, so it is the biggest Mini. Yeah, everybody does that pun, don't they? So, yeah, they're pretty good size. I've had kids back there, and they were more than happy. Cargo area is pretty okay too. I haven't noticed that cargo is any smaller really than in the standard version. I know on paper it's slightly smaller to accommodate the batteries and such, so perhaps it is, but in practical use I did not notice it was any smaller. We got a lot of stuff in there, so I don't think you sacrifice too much to have the plug-in in terms of practicality. Seats are still folding, they still fold flat, etc., 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 etc. So that's the interior of the 2018 Mini Countryman plug-in hybrid version. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and talk to you again soon. Oh, and a shout out to all my trolls. Talk to you soon.